What's up, y'all? This Wolf. So today I decided to do a book review, okay, on my own book, okay, Three Cats in Ship City. I just finished this book on the final editing, I think, okay. I posted it up. It's on Amazon for $15.99. What I am going to say is this book was very difficult to write. It wasn't as difficult for me as Footprints, because Footprints, there was a lot of wisdom and work that went here into my mind. This one, I painted the front cover myself, okay? So don't give me no crap. This is my first time painting a book cover, okay? And I'm not a very good painter, but I did the best I could. So it may come out that later on when I do a publishing deal, that my art gets better, where I take the original canvas that I painted and I make it better, okay? Until now, this is how I'm rolling, okay? So, Three Cats in Ship City. I wrote this book in about a month, and I edited it for, I would say the editing phase was probably about 2 months, 3 months. And I wasn't on it all the time, but I did it multiple ways. I had to print a physical copy to go through with a pen and do it that way, but I also did it on my laptop and used Microsoft Word's editor. A lot of people may ask me, why didn't you use like an AI book editor for this? If I would have used an AI book editor for this book, it wouldn't have the character that it does, the feel and the character and everything to it. It would have made robotic-like corrections to it that wouldn't have given the book the feel that it has. So I did it all by hand. I did it all line by line and combed it twice, okay? So this book is weird, okay, the way this book kind of planned out. But I will assure you, I had no plot when I wrote the book. It was all off the fly. I wrote it all on the fly from front to back. There's certain things in there, like the ending that matches up with the middle is very strange. And I came up with it on a fly, and I was trying to figure out how to end the book, and it was the perfect way to end the book, and it just came to me. The more I got wisdom, the more I built a hedge, the more God helped me write books like this, where I was like, okay, like he's helping me do something a little more successful here, which was interesting. There was some swear words in here, okay, but it was adding to the character and feel of the book. There's going to be a movie, a Three Cats in Ship City movie that I'm going to be doing. So that's in the works right now. I'm still talking to people and trying to make things happen, but the book hasn't popped yet. I haven't been paid, so I'm owed a lot of money. Once I get paid my money, then I'm going to be doing some movies. And I'm debating if I'm going to do this as YouTube, where they are on YouTube, not necessarily in theaters. I don't know how it's going to go. It might be that it ends up in a theater. I don't know. But I'm writing right now the second book. The second book I'm writing right now that I started. I have not done any reviews on my Footprints books yet, mainly because I did not edit them by hand. I used AI for some of it, but it wasn't like an editing software. I used Microsoft Editor, and generally I went through those by hand because I didn't know the editor was a thing. So I went through them line by line by line, and I didn't print anything off. If you find any mistakes in this book when you buy it, feel free to let me know any punctuation mistakes so I can go back and edit the manuscript. I'm just asking that because I didn't pay an editor for this. I did it all myself, and this is very hard, okay? Second, people may ask me about this book on how I came up with the parrot on the fly. Everything here was straight out of my mind as I wrote it. So I wrote it front to back, and then I made edits. I did not put anything in between. I did not add anything. It was from front to back. I just wrote it from front to back. I don't know how I did it. I just did. Some people may be like, what's up with that? I don't really know. I just wrote a book front to back. That's how all my fiction novels will be. So I have certain books that are coming out. One of them is called Interlude, which is a romance story. But a lot of these books, I'm going to use them for my ministry. How? These are books that are in the dark that I can use as examples instead of using people and situations. So I'm not going on the news and going, well, this person did this, and why was that wise and foolish? Not like that. It's more of something that happened in one of these books. I can use it to tie to scripture and show you why that wasn't a good decision, or why that was a good decision. Why it was wise or why it was foolish, okay? Why that's a snake or why that's a stick, or an example of this that happened right here is an apple that's being presented to you by the darkness, that you don't want to do that, okay? Or that avoided the apple. One of the two. So the fiction books, not every book that I have the main character's name is Wolf. Why did I use the name as Wolf as the main character? Because of the movie series that I want to do, I just decided to do it that way. Not all my books are like that. Some are, some aren't. It is what it is. I'm in the early stages of writing fiction books. I have another book called The City of Bridges that will come out. That is a detective book, okay? And the fiction series that I do, there's only going to be 2 City of Bridges books, just 2 of them. But there's going to be 4 of this series, which is the 3 Cats series, basically. This is the first book that sets the stage for the other 3 books, okay? So what am I going to do, okay? I have series of books that are in 2 and 4, maybe 3, whatever it may be. Eternal's probably just going to be a solitary single book, okay? It's just going to be one book. And it's going to be a quick book. It's going to be on love and lust and the difference between it, so I can use examples and go, this happened in this book right here. If you reflect on it and then you tie it to this word or to this verse in the Bible, you can understand why decisions that you're making may not be the best decisions to make, okay? So I'm using them as examples for my ministry. What else can I tell you? I have other books coming out that are the Diamond series, the Castle series, and the Salmon series. Those 3. And there's one called the 3 Rock series. Those are going to take me some time, okay? I am probably about, oh man, I would say 10 books into my Diamond series, but I'm not all the way through them. A lot of them are already done, but they're not mapped out and edited. They're very long, so they're going to be hardback books, not paperback books. They're hardback books. Will I release them through Amazon? That depends on when I get paid, and that depends on how far along I am. So if this hasn't gone yet and I'm done, I'll probably drop them as Amazon KDPs, okay? So they're available on Amazon, $15.99. Look it up, Lone Wolf, 3 Cats in Ship City, $15.99. I dropped the price of all my books, including my Footprints books. I dropped them down to $15.99. I wanted that to be my standard rate. If I get a publishing deal, it probably is going to be cheaper. So it costs money to do Amazon KDP. It's a blessing that they're there because they give you ISBNs. They give you everything you need to print a book. So this is completely legitimate. ISBN, completely legitimate, okay? So with this book, how did I come up with the characters? I don't know. I ran with it. I honestly just, it's like taking sets of empty shoes and setting them around and filling a character in the role, okay? And I built the characters' behavior, characteristics, and things, a way that they speak, based upon, well, on the fly, but I also kind of built the characters outside my own shoes. And so the characters do not develop until the other books. That's something I want to mention, is this book sets the stage for the characters in the series, okay? So the movie will be, it'll probably be 4 movies, to be honest. So it might just be YouTube, that I do YouTube videos with it and I hire people and I end up doing a film and putting it on YouTube and I make gross income from that. Or it ends up hitting a box office, which would be amazing, but chances are nobody will get out of the way out here. So it's probably going to be YouTube. So people need to get out the way. It's not going to happen. It's just how the darkness is. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So today I'm eating some Cafe Yum. Stuff is pretty good. I can't forget the food. But I'm working right now. So with 3 Cats in Ship City, what can I tell you about writing this book, okay? It took a lot of mental work. Not like Wisdom with the Footprints books. The Footprints books, that was like wow, like I had awakenings while I was writing it. This was like, I didn't really know I could write a fiction book like this. So this is my first shot at writing a fiction book, and I think it turned out pretty well. Some people may say it sucks. Some people may say it's really good, okay? It just turned out a certain way. So it's basically a fiction mob book, okay? Why fiction mob? Well, for some reason I felt the need to tie in that with like the old casino stuff. And here's the deal, is a lot of the movies that I really like, okay, are some of the Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, a lot of the old movies, man. Goodfellas, the movie Heat. There was a whole bunch of movies that I watched that I just really liked them, okay? I like them a lot. So why did I do fiction mob? Well, I don't really know. Well, you could ask, why'd you do fiction mob? Well, why did I do fiction romance? Why did I do fiction detective? You know, why did I do, you know, one about a plumber? Why did I do this? Well, maybe I just do it, okay? There's just, why was the first one fiction mob? Who knows, dude? Honestly, I had other books that were pretty much 90% written before I wrote that one. Like, City of Bridges was pretty much already done. I just haven't dropped it yet. This book, $15.99, or now it's in the description. Until next time, peace out, yo.